Breaking news in Utah, where an execution by firing squad has been carried out for the first time in 14 years.
Convicted murderer Ronnie Lee Gardner was shot to death at 17 minutes past midnight local time. Ryan Owens is joining us from just outside the prison with all the details. Good morning, Ryan.
Benita, good morning to you. We are getting significantly more details as this execution happened now a couple of hours ago, and we've just been hearing from a number of the witnesses who watched it happen. And here is the timeline that we have both from those witnesses and from prison officials. At exactly midnight, straight up midnight, Gardner was walked into the execution chamber. We're told he was calm and walked willingly. He was strapped into that chair, then asked if he had any last words. He simply said, "I do not know." With that, the hood was placed over his head, and at 12:15, 5 shots rang out from .30 caliber rifles. He was shot in the heart and pronounced dead at 12:17, just 2 minutes later. That is the timeline. We are right now listening to members of the media who watched it, who describe it. Some say it was more clinical than they thought, that it was over faster than they thought. Others say that they actually were disturbed to see his left arm moving. They thought even maybe for a couple of minutes after those shots rang out, and that was something that they were surprised to see.
Ryan, a lot of people would argue this is an antiquated method of killing someone. Of course, this is what he chose. What was the reaction outside of the prison? I mean, were there people protesting or saying this shouldn't be happening?
There were a small group of protesters, we should point out, including Gardner's family, his brother, a daughter. They were out there. He did not want them to see this happen. He said this was an act of violence, and he did not allow any witnesses in there from his own family. Certainly a lot of people have thought this was something out of the Old West, something we might have seen 100 years ago. But the fact is, this was his choice. He told his attorney at one point that he lived by the gun, so he thought it was appropriate he should die by the gun. What he meant by that was that he killed 2 men, both times with guns, in the mid-'80s. Those the 2 murders that he died for tonight.
Ryan Owens in Utah for us this morning. Thank you, Ryan.